foreign nationals of all kinds, when they're in the United States, should never speak about our politics ever, upon pain of legal punishment. That is a position that you have about America generally.
Did they agree to it? When they applied for the visa under the INA, did they agree to those terms?
I don't know.
The answer is yes, they did.
Tim Pool slams this leftist comedian named Adam Conover on Timcast over free speech laws as Tim Pool tries to explain to this leftist that when you break rules, there are in fact consequences, as Adam Conover doesn't seem to understand simple logic and cries about foreigners not getting all the same rights as Americans. So let's check out Tim Pool slamming this idiot Adam Conover.
Free speech does change throughout the generations.
Of course.
We never grew up in an era, we never had a time in our lives where you had true free speech the way the absolutists want it to be.
Yeah, I'm talking about the story that we tell about ourselves as a country, man. I'm talking about
it's not true.
I'm talking about the values that we have collectively as people. And of course, those are always changing a little bit, and people are trying to pull them in one direction or another.
Split in half.
I would have thought, that, like, I don't know that much about you. I know you're very involved with Occupy and stuff like that and protest movements, which I think is cool work. I would have thought that, like, a student writing an op-ed about another country's war and her own institution's support for it, vis-a-vis our country's foreign policy, would be the kind of thing that you would think is a sort of free speech that we should value. That is the kind of free speech that I think, I personally think, like, a lot of the idea of America is built upon. I think it's one of the good things about the country, that this is a country where you can come here and you can express your opinion mildly in the newspaper.
What happened at Kent State?
And I think Kent State was bad.
My point is, there's things we wish America was. But I kind of feel like a non-citizen.
But this one you said you think is good. You're not sitting here going, man, yeah, that's a bummer.
She got deported, dude. What are you talking about? She didn't get shot in the face. A conditional visa was revoked. I'm not crying about it. I don't care.
I mean, I think she cares. I think
That's
her family cares.
bad.
I think the people of her university care. I think
change the law, man. This is a marginal issue for a single person who was in violation of the INA as it's enforced by a government that was elected by a popular majority, or I should say by a plurality, but the popular vote. So let me pull this up, because this is what we were talking about earlier. This is RCP from April 22nd. Every age bracket, to be fair, 40-49 is a tie, but Real Clear Politics aggregate shows from all of the latest polls, 70 plus is the only age group that is a negative view of Trump's job.
Okay. I'm just trying to...
This is a popular majority.
I'm just trying to make sense of your position around free speech, because you agree with me about all the past things in America that you're talking about. Kent State, you're talking about George Carlin and all these other things, and these were bad abrogations of free speech.
Indeed, deportation is not a murder. You're going home. I'm giving you a ride home.
But
if you came to my house, I let you in the door. I said, you can hang out tonight. And you started shit talking my brother. I say, bro, I'm going to give you a ride home. I don't think you should be here. That's not an affront to someone's sovereignty or free speech. It's like the worst thing that happened to you is I gave you a ride home. Oh, I'm going to cry. She's going home. What's the problem? Home's nice. She was here conditionally. We said, hey, we kind of think you're being a dick. We're going to give you a ride home. That's it.
I mean... When I get a ride home,
Kent State,
6 guys don't normally shove me into a van, and then my family doesn't know where I am. That's How about you're at a bar and you're acting out in some way, and they say, "Listen, buddy, do you feel
security throws you out of the bar?
Do you feel this woman was acting out? Do you think she was acting inappropriately? Do you think that she was acting?
I've already told you, I did not.
Okay, so then how are you justifying what happened?
I don't think you can
legally narrow that it can happen. Therefore, it's good.
I don't think you know how to separate. I just don't think you know how to comprehend the separation between I have no issue with a woman making her argument. I think it was absurd to claim she's adhering to Hamas because she's critical of Israel. But her visa is conditional, and it is the authority of these United States and the Secretary of State to revoke that. So it's okay. Right? Trump won the popular vote.
What? But
this is the agenda.
Sorry, man. This is the hump that I can't get over.
Clearly.
You don't have any problem with what she actually did, right? But Trump and Rubio had the narrow legal ability to do it.
You're not following.
Do you agree with their decision to do it?
I do not. I think there is a net negative, to a degree, that foreigners come to this country to dictate our politics. Be it Canadian,
I'm sorry,
British,
dictate our politics, or just give their opinion in the newspaper that's dictating?
Let's I'll turn on the language. To come here and advocate for policies of the American people.
So you feel that foreign nationals of all kinds, when they're in the United States, should never speak about our politics ever,
No.
upon pain of legal punishment. That is a position that you have about America generally.
Did they agree to it? When they applied for the visa under the INA, did they agree to those terms?
I don't know.
The answer is yes, they did.
This is one of my biggest problem with leftists, and I'm glad Tim Pool called out the fact that they agreed to these terms. But when they want to talk about American values, they are so keen to extend them to everybody else who's not an American. Which means, what's the difference between American citizens and foreigners? I mean, the left wants to give them free housing. They want to give them the right to vote. They want to give, allow them to be police officers, give them driver's license. Like, they have absolutely blurred the line between the difference of what American citizens get and ought to get as, sovereign citizens of this country versus other people who are not. And they just don't seem to care. They don't see the difference. Like, you're here on a green card, like Tim Pool was pointing out. You're here conditionally. You are a guest in our country. There are things that you agree you will not do. You will not advocate for terrorist groups. You will not protest. You will not do. I have no problem with telling foreign nationals, like, hey, you are in our country. You can do this. You can do that. You can enjoy the space, whatever like that. But you do not have an opinion on our internal politics. And quite frankly, plenty of other countries have that same feeling. It's like, this is our home. This is our country. You are a guest. You can view, you can do this. But to start speaking as if you really know what's going on in our country, like if I went to someone else's home or if I was from someone else's country and I was there for 6 months, like, I don't understand the culture. I don't understand the place. I don't understand, the history and everything. Like, all of a sudden I have the inalienable right to just say whatever I want about, like, how wrong I think these people are as I'm a guest in their country. Plenty of other nations take offense to that and say, you know what, if you're going to be here causing problems, you don't need to be here anyway, because we don't owe you anything. Just like in America, we don't owe you as a guest in our country to extend all of sovereign American citizens' rights to you just because you're a guest. No, you do not deserve that, and you are not entitled to that. And that's what this guy, Adam Connor, just absolutely doesn't get. And look, even if you didn't agree with what the person said, but someone else did disagree, either way, you agreed, as Tim Pool stated, in NHSA. No, I can't remember exactly what he said, but in the agreement to come here, certain things you would not do. And it's like, all of a sudden, what, the rules don't count? Again, left doesn't care about the rules. Rules for thee, but not for me. This is one of my biggest gripes with them, that they just seemingly do not care about. They claim they love America so much, but they will freely give away its soul to everyone else that doesn't deserve it. Let me know whether you agree with that in the comments down below, and hit that like button if you're enjoying the video. Let's get back in.
It clearly states when you're coming here on a condition, you can't do certain things. It literally says you won't protest. And we still would allow them to hold a sign up or something. But maybe if they didn't.
But apparently we don't allow them to hold a sign up.
And I don't care.
So I'm not asking about what they agreed to. I'm not asking about the legal justification.
Don't agree to things you don't want to hear.
Do you, Tim Pool, believe that as a moral issue, as a practical issue? Do you think that America should be a country in which every foreign national in the country should feel that they should never speak about American politics under pain of legal punishment?
No.
You don't think that that's, you don't agree with that?
You presented me an absolute, right? You gave me the extreme end.
Okay. So Ramesa Ozturk, I think, is a really illustrative example, because it was such a mild
understand
version.
That they've made an agreement upon entering this country that if they are in violation of the terms of their visa, it may be revoked. If they come here with the intent of advocating against U.S. foreign policy, that is a consequence. Speech has consequences. I think we're getting hung up on the issue that I've clearly answered, and I understand maybe you don't understand, but
I
We can
I think I've pinned you down well enough that like you just like really have a much smaller view of free speech than I do, and I think a lot of Americans do. I think it's a change to the American spirit. I think it makes the country smaller. It's a shittier country to live in. Is a country where people live in fear of what they say when they're here on a student.
They always
visa.
have.
Yeah, and that's bad.
Like, look at this guy, Adam Connor, get lost in his feelings. Like, he is absolutely getting emotional about the whole subject. Like, oh, we're all going to live in fear. No, bro, like, I'm not an absolutist, folks. I don't know if you are, but no one gets to do absolutely, literally everything they want or say everything they want. You can't yell fire in a crowded room. You can't just speak absolute lies because that can be proved as defamation. Like, there's certain things, other things that you say that can end up hurting people. Like, there are consequences to what you say. So you can't literally say and do anything that you want. And that's the problem with these crazy radical leftists, is that they just feel they, through taking liberalism to its absolute extreme, oh, we should just be able to do whatever we want. We should just be able to say whatever we want, because otherwise there's fear, and that's bad. It's like, yeah, there are consequences to what you do. Again, the left doesn't want consequences for anything they do. It's like these crazed idiots want to take, our own rules to the absolute limit, despite the consequences of that, as Temple is trying to illustrate, and also with rules. So they don't want consequences. They don't want rules. They want Americans' rights to extend to literally everybody, whether they're a citizen or not. And they don't want to live in fear of literally saying anything that they want anywhere ever. Like if you ask me, like, this guy, he acts like he cares about other people, but really, like, he just wants to do anything he wants. I mean, that's all I'm getting, because there's no concession as to what this individual did, breaking the rules that they agreed to as a guest in someone else's home. And now you just don't want them to have any consequences or fear of doing anything. Like, this is the crazy radicalism of the left, in my opinion. But I think this guy, Adam Connor, has absolutely lost the plot. But folks, thanks for watching. Put down below in the comments what you think about what Tim Pool had to say to this guy, Adam Conover, this crazy leftist, in this talk about free speech in America. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, take care, and I will see you in the next one.